Sending shots with this chop, that's a dick pic. I can't mix with your block, I'm a misfit. Slide on my feet for a mission. Finna light your street up like it's Christmas. In a Shark Tank, talking big shit. Even out my pond, I'm a big fish. In a Shark Tank, talking big shit. Even out my pond, I'm a big fish. My nigga never leave a mission unfinished. Record still spotless, little nigga unblemished. You can feel the tension change every time they mention me. That song game, run his name, it's still squeaky clinky history. Put him out his brains and his misery. Seriously, here he switching teams, wipe his memory. Instantly, on replay, I see it vividly. In the streets, they bumping your guns down, you looking weak. Got in his face for the fade and he couldn't speak, cooking him. Heard his own mama couldn't look at him. Left him on his knees, facing east like a Muslim. Destroy a nigga temple, break it down like Jerusalem. I'm finna have the streets on key and a padlock. And I got a lawyer like Madlock. I can never fold, I'm no laptop. You ain't never in the game, you a mascot. Sending shots with this chop, that's a dick pic. I can't mix with your block, I'm a misfit. Slide on my feet for a mission. Finna light up your street like it's Christmas. In a Shark Tank, talking big shit. Even out my pond, I'm a big fish. In a Shark Tank, talking big shit. Even out my pond, I'm a big fish. I swear to God, they ain't never seen this much sauce. Finna cut a rug like a bus off. Pray to God that my jam don't get cut off. I'ma do the dance in the trance, let me get off. I'm at the center of two ladies playing pickle. You can call me Malcolm, I'm the man in the middle. Catch me on stage pulling strings like a fiddle. Chevy chasing cheese like my name's Stuart Little. She like a rough, I push her brains in a pillow. Ask her if she rollin' and she hand me the Rillo. So I'm twisting up this raspberry drizzle. And every single puff like a bag full of Skittles. And you gon' think they pulling chairs when I hit the flow. Right behind her pulling hair while she hit the dro. I got that 40 on my hip while she getting low. And I think she getting wet when she feel the cold. Sending shots with this chop, that's a dick pic. I can't mix with your block, I'm a misfit. Slide on my feet for a mission. Finna light your street up like it's Christmas. In a Shark Tank, talking big shit. Even out my pond, I'm a big fish. In a Shark Tank, talking big shit. Even out my pond, I'm a big fish.
The story goes, I only get so much more info. Message from my dude through my oracle, and it's all on cue. I don't wanna know how the story goes, I only get so much more info. Message through a dude through my oracle, and it's all on cue. I think it's a connection to the Congo, or maybe it's a head being Shango. Back when the Bulls had Rondo, we was rocking red and white. Come outside, cause I'll be outside on my mind, but it's all on you. Let the spirit teach us, don't speak on my reshine. I see why, I is your name. Is your name. I don't wanna know how the story goes, I only get so much more info. Message from my dude through my oracle, and it's all on cue. I don't wanna know how the story goes, I only get so much more info. Message through a dude through my oracle, and it's all on cue. It's a method to the message, just the process. I ain't stressing and I know we making progress. It's a lesson shadow boxing in the darkness, and it's all on you. Come outside, cause I'll be outside on my mind, but it's all on you. spirit teachers. I sneak on my research. I see why Ifa is your name. I is your name.
Power to the dark side, power to the dark side family. We definitely got to start this off with a special praise to the most beautiful goddess of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, Stemia, whose image is the most beautiful Whoopi Goldberg. Remember, if you are listening to this, together we are Babel. Let's build. Shout out to everybody in the building. Was good. Power to the dark side. Karate introvert in the building. Power to the motherfucking dark side. Al Capone in the mix. Was good what you got. Power to the dark side. Planet Free Spirit in the building. What's going on? What's going on? Shout out to Domo in the building. The political plug. Was good. Was good. So, as y'all already know from the title, right? I labeled the title basically the secrets of self, right? And basically what I'm gonna be doing is just reading through the introduction. It's gonna be the introduction of the book of secrets. Shout out to Sister Soul. It was crazy because actually one day I was actually it was a few episodes we had. I might have to label these episodes like the butterfly doctrine or whatnot. But it was like a few episodes where we were talking about um basically uh definitely that's a fact, Al. And basically what we were talking about though was the process of spiritually starting off as a caterpillar and then going through that time period of metamorphosis or change and then coming out of that to become a butterfly and you know the realization that you can fly now and you know the amount of ground that you can cover and the places that you can go. And so now this also changes the limits of your imagination, right? And how you see the world in general. So, and it was crazy because I think after we had a couple of those episodes here, um, I want to say either a few hours after I had a show or maybe the next day, the next morning, I happened to tap into Sister Soul, who usually is having a great conversation going on always. And you know, we just seemed like we happened to be in on the same frequency. And when I tapped in over there, it was crazy because she was reading this book, right, called The Book of Secrets. And in that book, what it was talking about too was like almost the same thing that we was talking about. And it kind of gave the example. Shout out to Hood Therapy in the building. Appreciate you. And it gave the example of the butterfly. You know what I mean? And that's what really stood out to me. And so I was able to get in contact with her, and she sent me the book. Um, so shout out to Sister Soul for that. Y'all definitely got to get over there and jump into some of those discussions. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this book though. Go ahead and pull it up. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the slide. So this is just the introduction. And of course we'll be getting into to part two, which would be the first chapter, and you know we'll keep going like that. So we're gonna start this out. This, of course, like I said, this is called the Book of Secrets, unlocking the hidden. Oh wow, excuse me. Here we go. This is the Book of Secrets, unlocking the hidden dimensions of your life. Right. This is by Deepak Chopra or Chopra. Right, Deepak Chopra. Yeah, this is actually a great book. Shout out to Green 101. Appreciate you in the mix, God. Definitely appreciate you. Uh, yeah, this is definitely a great book, and I'm glad I came across it. It's been a wonderful read, and it was just really kind of on point with some of the shows that I had been doing earlier. So I did want to bring this out to y'all. Um, so I have to get some of this off the screen. Here we go. All right, it says that the greatest hunger in life is not for food, money, success, status, security, sex, or even love from the opposite sex. Time and time again, people have achieved all of these things and wound up still feeling dissatisfied. Indeed, often more dissatisfied than when they began. So, I gotta figure out how to, maybe if I change like that. Hold on. Okay, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it like that. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it on a smaller screen because it's just not. Yeah, too much stuff is in the way. So anyway, so it says that the deepest hunger in life is a secret that is revealed only when a person is willing to unlock the hidden part of the self, the hidden part of the self, right? And this kind of gets into us talking about the shadow work, some of the discussions that we had when we kind of talk about going into that dark place, especially when we talk about in general being on the dark side. A lot of being on the dark side and the rhetoric is dealing with the self, dealing with fighting against the self, conquering the self, and being able to come out of that, in control of your own thoughts, in control of your own destiny, and also understanding that your tongue basically has the power to manifest anything in the physical that you can think of, right? So now we'll talk about that, right? So we talk about that is what is revealed only when a person is willing to unlock the hidden part of self, right? The hidden part of self. In the ancient traditions of wisdom, this quest has been linked, or excuse me, has been likened to the diving for the most precious pearl in existence, right? A poetic way of saying that you have to swim far out beyond shallow waters, plunge deep into yourself, and search patiently until the pearl beyond price is found. So a lot of what you're searching for, right? When you diving deep into yourself, remember this is a point of self-reflection. Remember when people talk about the old saying, you might hear Pac saying, "I can look into the mirror," right? Remember that's not a physical mirror. A lot of people think that that is a physical mirror. No, this mirror is the mirror of self-reflection, right? This is the mirror that you actually find when you go deep into that dark place into yourself, right? And now you hear this is when you start dealing with the things that make you uncomfortable and the things that maybe make you feel embarrassed or you're a little self-conscious about, all of that type of stuff, right? This is where you deal with that at. This is deep inside of you, right? So the pearl is also called essence, the breath of God, the water of life, holy nectar, labels for what we in our most prosaic scientific age would simply call transformation, right? Now, transformation means radical change of form. The way a caterpillar, remember we've had this discussion, the way a caterpillar transforms, right? Or the metamorphosis, right, into a butterfly. In human terms, it means turning fear, aggression, doubt, insecurity, hatred, and emptiness into their opposites. Into their opposites. Because remember, the first thing that you understand and how you understand how to deal with the environment that you are going to create around you, right? You have to understand that you can't give yourself, right, any less than what is the best. And the moment that you stop doing that is the moment that you stop allowing other people to give you anything less than your standard. Remember that, right? So, and sometimes on this journey, it's a lot of bumps and roads when you get in, and bruises that you have to take, right? Because remember, you like, this is a part of you. The fight is in you to remove doubt. The fight is in you to be able to remove insecurity, hatred, All of that. Nobody else can do that for you. Nobody can carry that off into the next life for you. Nobody can shed that for. That's up to you on how you and these are places that you have to go in, and this is the discussion on the shadow work. This is a true fight, right? This is a true fight. So a lot of times we talk about spiritual combat, being prepared for spiritual combat and different things like that. But you also need spiritual training, right? You need to be able to see. They also said transform, but it's also a spiritual development that takes place, right? Because a caterpillar is not just transforming, but it's developing into a butterfly, right? It's stages of that. And so um a lot of the times fear and hatred or the insecurities, these are the things that we have to go in, and this is during the stage when the caterpillar is being wrapped up and the metamorphosis is actually taking place, right? The change is actually happening inside of this cocoon that the caterpillar has created. So inside of this cocoon is where everything is being dealt with, right? When you able to come outside of this cocoon and you conquered the doubt and the insecurity and the hatred and the emptiness and all of that, right? You've able to turn these things into their opposites. At that point, the wings begin to grow, right? But even in that, it's a process. The wings begin to grow and then they begin to break out of that nest, right? Out of that cocoon. But this is still a slow process, right? Because part of this breaking out, now you have to believe that your wings work. This is a new idea. This is a totally new idea for you, right? So now you are slowly, now that you realize you're no longer a caterpillar, you are now a butterfly with wings, right? And these wings are starting to crack and creep outside of the cocoon that you have built, right? To protect yourself. This is the shell that you had while you went into your shadow work. Now you have to have the thought process and the belief that you can actually fly. Now, can this really be achieved? One thing we know for certain is that the secret hunger that gnaws at people's souls has nothing to do with externals like money, status, and security. It's the inner person who craves meaning in life, the end of suffering, and answers to the riddles of love, death, God, the soul, good, and evil. Simple. A life spinning the surface will never answer these questions or satisfy the needs that drive us to ask them. That's not what this for, right? Because remember, you're not taking these things with you. Excuse me, I'm going a little too fast. Hold on. You can't take these things with you, right? And so a lot of the times the reason why you are preparing, because we know that the one thing that is eternal, we know it's not the flesh, but the one thing that is eternal is the eye. It's the spirit, right? It's the spirit. That's the one thing that is eternal. And the one thing for some reason we seem that seems to get the least amount of attention, the least amount of nourishment. Now, finding the hidden dimensions in yourself is the only way to fulfill your deepest hunger. So a lot of people think that once you get the house, or once you get the land, or once you get the women, or the women it's the man, or whatever it is outside, they think that that then will make them happy and in that spot that's inside that's been bothering them. But no, before you can even achieve that, the things that are on the outside, right? And before you can actually achieve something that's finite, or something that you can that'll actually last, something that's actually tangible, you must first deal with you first. It's you first. You have to deal with the self. You have to deal with the insecurities of the I. If you don't understand how to love yourself, and the love that you're giving yourself is below your own standard, then of course what you're going to manifest in the flesh is going to be love below the standard. So a lot of times we talk about, and like you might hear people talk about karmics and different things like that. That means that in general, right, you have manifested the energies that come around you. You manifest that. The fight, all of that. Shout out the ghost in the building. Appreciate you, God. What's good? What's good? So it says, after the rise of science, this craving for knowledge should have faded, but it has only grown stronger. Right? It says, but it has only grown stronger. There are no new facts to discover about life's hidden dimension. Okay, there's nothing new under the sun. Nobody needs to peer at, excuse me, nobody needs to peer at more CAT scans of patients undergoing a near-death experience, or take more MRIs of yogis sitting deep in meditation, doing all of these different brain scans and all of that to try to figure out something that we've already known since ancient times. That phase of experimentation has done its work. We can be assured that wherever consciousness wants to go, the human brain will follow. Our neurons are capable of registering the highest spiritual experiences. In some ways, however, you and I know less about the mysteries of life than our ancestors. We live in an age of the higher brain, the cerebral cortex that has grown enormously over the last few millennia, overshadowing the ancient instinctive lower brain. The cortex is often called the new brain, yet the old brain held sway in humans for millions of years, as it does today in most living things. The old brain can't conjure up ideas or read, but it does possess the power to feel, and above all, to be. To feel and to be. Meaning they had some sense of awareness, and they felt a presence that was outside of themselves, outside of their flesh, understanding that. It was the old brain that caused our forebears to sense the closeness of a mysterious presence everywhere in nature. That's that source, or that energy force, or what we would call the source, right? The source permeating through all of nature. That presence, which is found in every particle of creation, right? How do we know that? Because we can see, once again, when we go into the double slit experiment, what do we see? Right? We see communication going on all the way down to elementary particles. We see communication happening all the way down to elementary particles, to the point that they are aware when they are being observed. So, you are a book of secrets waiting to be opened. You, although you probably see yourself in totally different terms on a given day, you are a worker, a father, or mother, husband, or wife, a consumer, combing through the mall stores for something new, and the audience member waiting impatiently for the next entertainment. These are all of the different roles sometimes that we pick up in life. But it comes down to the age-old choice of separation of unity. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah. So, when you are living the truth of one reality, every secret reveals itself without effort or struggle. Because, and this is where you're going to find this connection, right? Because remember, what you find is it's the same power that is permeating right through all of nature. You feel that presence, but also that is the same power that is permeating through you, right? Or that is flowing through you. Same source. This one source, right, holds all of this information from all of these different particles. That means that any secret that is out there, you have the ability to connect to, because on the elementary particle, even your elementary particles communicate with any other elementary particle inside of this realm. We've seen it happen. The CIA recently, and I'm not going to go too much into this because I'm actually going to be doing, I got a presentation ready for it. But the CIA actually has already went into what they were doing was they were basically um, they were basically putting one side of the brain in a deep in like putting one side of the brain to rest to the point where it was basically it was almost um could resemble you being in a deep sleep, and then using sound to raise basically the vibration of both sides of the brain, right? And to where uh basically to see if we could have brain to brain communication, right? Or basically telepathic communication, to try to, and really we already know that we can telepathically communicate. The CIA is basically trying to prove, right? They were basically trying to prove. Now, even outside of that, when you think about it in general, the connection that you have to the universe, because that same power that is flowing through every single particle inside of the universe flows through you, gives you access to every idea, every thought, everything that is ever that is ever imagined inside of this universe. You can have the answers to. Why? Because at the same time, that is you. It's you. It's all you, and it's manifested itself in the flesh as whatever your name is, or as whatever your experience is on this plane. But outside of this experience, that is you. It comes down to the age-old choice of separation or unity. Do you want to be fragmented, conflicted, torn between the eternal forces of darkness and light? Or do you want to step out of separation into wholeness? Remember, what do we talk about? The unholy spirit. Why? Because the Holy Spirit is what? A spirit of separation. So when we speak about having the unholy spirit, what is the point? Because it's a spirit of wholeness. It's a spirit of oneness. It's a spirit of togetherness. Which one do you want? So in the mind, you have the ability to step out of separation, right? Separation only exists in the flesh. You have the opportunity, whether it be meditation, sometimes in dreams, whatever it may be, to step out of separation into wholeness. You are a creature who acts, thinks, and feels. Spirituality fuses these three into a single reality. Thinking doesn't lord it over feeling. Feeling doesn't stubbornly resist the higher brain. Doing occurs when both thought and feeling say this is right. The one reality can be recognized because once you are there, you experience the flow of life without obstacles or resistance. Why? Because you have removed doubt. Now, in this flow, you encounter inspiration, love, truth, beauty, and wisdom as natural aspects of existence. The one reality, shout out the front line and no, appreciate you in the building, God. Was good, was good. The one reality is spirit, and the surface of life is only a disguise with 1,000 masks that keeps us what? From discovering what is real. And remember, what do we always talk about? Remember, I think I think I talked about it, but I don't think I've actually done a presentation yet on it. The Quasi Crystal, right? The Quasi Crystal. When they talk about quasi crystals, and basically them basically being able to map all of the particles in this realm, and the design basically shows that this realm is a shadow of the real world. This space is a shadow of the real world. It's a disguise for what is real. Remember that. Because of how we interact with this plane through a brain inside of a spacesuit, reality is only a shared illusion. That's it. And righteously, there is no scientific reality. It isn't one. So, 1,000 years ago, such a statement would have made would have been met with no argument, right? The spirit was accepted everywhere as the true, as the true uh, source of life. Today, we have looked. We have to look with new eyes at the mysteries of existence. For as proud children of science and reason, right? Science and reason, we have made ourselves the orphans of wisdom. Therefore, this book must work on two fronts. First, it must persuade you that really that there really is a mystery lying in the hidden dimensions of life. Second, it must inspire you to feel the passion and the dedication to require to get there. To require to get there. And remember, this isn't a journey that's for everybody. It really isn't. It should be, and it can be, but everybody's not going to want it. And for some people, by the time they realize what they've been missing, it just may be a little bit too late. There isn't a project to postpone until you are ready. This isn't a project to postpone until you are ready. Right? So yeah, that's actually the end of the introduction. This isn't something that you postpone until you're ready, though. This is a journey that takes place now. It starts now. Very simple and plain. So is there, like, at some point there has to be a spark in the idea of the caterpillar that even becoming a butterfly is even a possibility. And during the metamorphosis period, that is the time period where the caterpillar now must clear any doubt that coming out of this cocoon, it will still be a caterpillar. It must not only have the idea of flying, but then know it can fly. A lot of times when we talk about speaking with authority, I think a lot of times people think that these are things that are said out loud. But the knowing comes is just a certain confidence that you vibe on, to where sometimes I guess when you up high, people say don't look down. It's almost like you don't even see down. You can't even see the floor, right? Nobody has to tell you not to look down, because down isn't even an option. So, like I said, this was just an introduction. Shout out once again. I gotta give a definite shout out to Sister Soul for shooting me this book. We're gonna be going through it. Yeah, this was the introduction. I got chapter 1 ready. We'll jump into chapter 1, get in a little bit more discussion. But I think I'm gonna have to label this, man. This has got to be probably hashtag the either the metamorphosis or the butterfly doctrine. I don't know what we're gonna do with this. This might be the butterfly doctrine, though. But yeah, we'll continue this discussion no further. Definitely appreciate everybody that was in the building. Shout out to Frontline and O. Shout out to Ghost, Al Catone. Shout out to Hood Therapy, Planet Free Spirit, Green 101 came through. Domo was in the building. Definitely I appreciate all of y'all. Karate the Introvert, definitely appreciate you in the building. Always, always. So you already know, we shall be doing it again. And as we always do, a power to the dark side, a special praise to the most beautiful goddess of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. STEMIA, whose image is the most beautiful Whoopi Goldberg. That being said, remember, if you are listening to this, together we are Babel. Let's build.
Just know that everything behind me soon to pass away. Ballin' on our own island, no castaway. I was trying to learn the craft, I can't masquerade. Every time we make magic, yeah, gotta have the cake. They say the flowers in May spring from the showers in April. Burning sage by the pound, all over crystals is labeled. Try to line your re with meditation you able, and you might get a read. Tarot cards on the table, and she better have her altar in her living room. Really ever lighting candles cause she in the mood. Not to mention love spells she was sending through. To petition too old soon if you feeling blue. It feels strange to find a guide on a voyage. No, you ain't the same, I can feel it in your aura. Came on point like the horns of a Taurus. Say you won't change, better take that thing to oil. Have to think the constellations for the day they made you. Shit, ever since a minor, I've been playing major. Call me Private Ryan, I was trying to save you. See, the stars is all the line and they designing greatness. So I be racing when we only chasing soul ties. You finna be the centerpiece of my soul tribe. No twin flame soulmates from an old life. So I'm thinking Maurice and you know why.
That girl blind, that girl blind. You don't wanna feel a black girl, right? You don't wanna make a black girl mine, but they always want with the black girl. I ain't talking about no rabbit in a hat trick. I see how it happened, this black girl. I ain't talking about no rabbit in a hat trick. I see how it happens, this black girl. And she gotta have an altar in the living room. Really live it like candles cause she ate a fool. I forget your love spell, she was sitting through. Just petition to her soon if you feeling blue.
They say the flowers in May spring from the showers in April. Burning sage by the pound, all over Christmas label. Try to line your read with meditation you able. And you might get a read, tarot cards on the table.
That girl blind, that girl blind. You don't wanna feel a black girl, right? You don't wanna make a black girl mine, but they always want with the black girl. I ain't talking about no rabbit in a hat trick. I see how it happened, this black girl. I ain't talking about no rabbit in a hat trick. I see how it happens, this black girl.
Yeah, shout out to Frontline and the name of the book is The Book of Secrets, Unlocking the Hidden Dimensions of Your Life. The Book of Secrets, Unlocking the Hidden Dimensions of Your Life. So shout out to that. We'll get this last one in and we up out of here officially. To the next one.
The story goes, I only get so much more info. Message from my dude through my oracle, and it's all on cue. I don't wanna know how the story goes, I only get so much more info. Message through a dude through my oracle, and it's all on cue. I think it's a connection to the Congo, or maybe it's a head being Shango. Back when the Bulls had Rondo, we was rocking red and white. Come outside, cause I'll be outside on my mind, but it's all on you. Let the spirit teach us, don't speak on my reshine. I see why, I is your name. Is your name. I don't wanna know how the story goes, I only get so much more info. Message from my dude through my oracle, and it's all on cue. I don't wanna know how the story goes, I only get so much more info. Message through a dude through my oracle, and it's all on cue. It's a method to the message, just the process. I ain't stressing and I know we making progress. It's a lesson shadow boxing in the darkness, and it's all on you. Come outside, cause I'll be outside on my mind, but it's all on you. Let the spirit teach us, don't speak on my reshine. I see why.